Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to number 2. Once again, we are on this worksheet right here. It's 38.2 classwork. It's in your attachment on the website and also on Google Classroom. But it is the classwork. So there's two, one for classwork, one is homework. So we're working on classwork right now. So we're on number 2, which just says f of x is equal to x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x plus 6 if x plus 2 is a factor. So we already know that x plus 2 is going to be a factor here. Okay, there's my polynomial. So we're going to change the sign, make it -2, bring down our coefficients. Go through your synthetic division. So bring down your 1, -2 times 1 is -2, 6 minus 2 is 4. -2 times 4 is -8, 11 minus 8 is 3, and -2 times 3 is -6, it zeroes out. Drop your power, x squared plus 4x plus 3, and now we're going to factor. Now remember, if both your signs are positive, they'll both be a positive. The only possible factors of x squared is x and x, and factors of 3 that add to 4, which would be 3 and 1. So there's my factors. Now we're going to bring down this other factor that was given to us. So all 3 of these are factors of the polynomial x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x plus 6. Next, you're going to take each factor and set it to equal 0 and then solve. And so your answer should be x is equal to -3, x equals -1, and x equals -2. So this will be your solution. So if we put this in our graphing calculator, we'll see we are crossing the x-axis at -3, -1, and -2. Now, let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 says, if x to the 4th plus 3x squared minus 7x squared minus 27x minus 18, if x minus 3 and x plus 1 are factors. Now, the reason why they're giving us 2 here is because instead of just being to the 3rd power, we're to the 4th power. We want to work this down to x squared. And so we need 2 different factors to work through, because remember, you drop a power every time you get you work through the synthetic division for your new answer. So we'll go with, when we use x minus 3, we'll drop down to x cubed. When we use x plus 1, we'll drop down to x squared. And so we want to get to x squared so that we can factor the polynomial. We can factor the quadratic. So that's how come they're giving us 2 when we get to x to the 4th power. So I went ahead and worked that one out. Okay, so here we have it, x to the 4th plus 3x cubed plus -7x squared minus 27x plus 18. And I took the first factor, x minus 3, and put it right here. So we're going to use the synthetic division. Bring down your coefficients of 1, 3, -7, -27, and -18. Okay, so we're going to bring down that 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. I made a mistake there, so sorry. 3 times 6 is 18, and -7 plus 18 is 11. 3 times 11 is 33, and -27 and 33 is 6. And then 3 and 6 is 18, which zeroes out. So now, remember, we're going to drop a power. So we're going to come down to 1x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x plus 6. And now we're going to take the other factor they gave us, x plus 1. Okay, so now we're going to change that +1 to a -1 and bring down the coefficients of our new polynomial. Okay, so 1, 6, 11, and 6. Bring down your 1. -1 times 1 is -1, and 6 minus 5 is 5. -1 times 5 is -5, and 11 minus 5 is 6, and -1 times 6 is -6, which zeroes out. So now we're going to drop a power again, which now will bring us down to a quadratic, x squared plus 5x plus 6. And we're going to factor that, so don't look at that yet. So we're going to factor it. We know both signs will be positive. The only possible value of x squared is x and x. And finally, factors of 6 that add to 5, which is 3 and 2. So we've got that factor. So now we're going to bring this x plus 1 down, set each factor to equal 0, and solve. X plus 3, you subtract 3 from both sides. X plus 2, subtract 2, and x plus 1, you'll subtract 1. And so your answer is -3, -2, and -1.